Everybody, how are you? It's hard to believe it's already been a week since my birthday edition of Tea Time with Tiffany. Time does really move quickly, I suppose. I really notice that more and more as the years go on. I don't necessarily like it, but it is what it is. I had my coffee today. I actually got in just a little early just so that I could record Tea Time with you because once again, I got the 9 o'clock reference shift on Thursday. And so I wanted to make sure I could get this in before I went. So today I thought, since I am going to be a little bit more rushy, since I want to do some of the production things here before I go on the reference desk, might be a little bit shorter than usual this episode, although we'll see, because you know me, I tend to get a little chatty when it comes to these times that we are having our tea together, tea and coffee. So I think what I'm going to do is have this be another one of our sort of updatey type shows. I've got a couple things to share with you related to our continued efforts towards New Year's resolutions with workout stuff, dance stuff, and some podcast updates, if you will, about this and this enterprise, Tea Time with Tiffany, as well as something else. So I think that's what we'll talk about this week. I got a very lovely email from a blog reader this week, and she asked or recommended, I should say, and asked if I would talk about faith in the workplace on an episode of Tea Time with Tiffany. Or actually, she asked if I would write about it in the blog. And I wrote back to her and I suggested, hey, why don't I talk about that on Tea Time with Tiffany? Because I think it's a great topic. And she thought that was a great idea. So I think what I'm going to do is do that next week so that you can think about it. How do you live out your faith in your workplace, whether it be a more religious workplace, if you work for a religious organization, or a secular workplace, like I think probably most people are in that situation. And then we talk about it, and you can write in, and we can have a very nice conversation about that. So that'll be next week. But so for this week, I've just been, chugging along. It's been a busy week, but a very good week. It's been a really good week post-birthday. I'm just really living this up, this whole birthday month. What else is there to do with February? When you live in Western New York, So just been focusing on having a really, really nice month and celebrating it all as part of my gratefulness for my life and what God has given me. So I've had a good week. I have really busy Mondays, as you know, because I teach on Mondays, but I also had Zumba on Monday. So as I've been talking about, this is part of my New Year's resolution to just try to be more conscious of my health in terms of fitness. So I don't think I wasn't doing terribly before, but I really just wanted to step up my game, try new things. And that sort of puts me outside of my comfort zone in more ways than one, not just with the actual workouts, but with, just my, I don't know if I want to call it social anxiety because that's too strong of a word, but it's because I'm an introvert. It's hard for me to put myself in new situations and then have to interact with people in those situations. Those definitely, I do fine with it most of the time, but it takes me out of my comfort zone. So I've been trying that, and I got this group fitness pass through the athletics facility at the university that I work at, and I've been going to Zumba. And I go with a friend of mine named Stacy, and it's been absolutely wonderful. So I couldn't go the week before this because I had a class that interfered, but this week I could go. So we were back. And, it's funny because Zumba is so popular, but I think that time slot is just after lunchtime, really, because it's at 2. And so it's just Stacy and I and the instructor. Nobody else comes. She's at her other Zumba class, which is in the evening, has 30 people. So it's really like a private Zumba lesson. So it's going really, really nicely. The instructor is just adorable, really like enthusiastic and cute, and really, really into Zumba, and just does a wonderful job of conveying the spirit of the dance, I think. Zumba, I love it. I will say it's kind of a sassier, I suppose, form of dance than comes naturally to me. I think it's wonderful for those that are naturally gifted at it. Um, there's some of this, I'm like, oh, I don't think I'm doing this very well, but I do what I can. I do what I can. I just think it's really fun to try something different, even if it's not something that I think comes quite as naturally to me as ballet does, or even Middle Eastern dance. But it's a wonderful time, and I'm so glad that I tried it. And I get tons of steps in. Can I say like 5 or 6,000 steps doing Zumba on Mondays? So my Fitbit is real happy. So that was really fun. And the other thing that has really been a surprise to me is that the week that I couldn't take Zumba last week, I thought, well, I'll try one of the other classes so that, get my money's worth out of my fitness pass. So I would, just take at least a class every week. So a lot of the classes are in the evening and such, after work slots or early in the morning. So I really need those lunchtime or just post lunchtime slots. And there's only so many classes, lots of yoga. And I really had it in my head that I didn't like yoga very much because I'm not very good at it. That's the reason. So there was a class on Wednesdays, 12 to 1, which is a great time slot for me, called Piyo, which is this Pilates yoga fusion. And I went last week and I found it very challenging, but really refreshing, really energizing. I was so sore, I could hardly walk. But yes, last week, especially Thursday and Friday, every muscle in my body hurt. I mean, I didn't even know I had muscles in some of these places. And it was just, I could definitely tell it was a fantastic workout. Now, this week I could go to Zumba. So I didn't really, quote unquote, need to go to another fitness class this week, because I also have dance on Friday nights. But I have to admit, I couldn't get Piyo out of my head. I had such a really fantastic endorphin rush after the class. It was just awash in those wonderful, good feelings that exercise can make come to the surface after you've had a really good workout. And so I thought, I don't have anything. I'm on the reference desk 9 to 11 on Wednesday morning. And so at noon, I'll be free. And why don't I go again? So I did. And I absolutely loved it. I am hooked officially on Piyo. I did better this week, which is to say I did less badly than last time. It's still, I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm still learning. But the instructor is excellent. She's a younger woman, and she's probably a student here. I think she's probably in her 20s. But she's very well trained in this method, and she gives outstanding modifications for all different types of needs. So you can customize the workout. And I have had nothing but a good experience. And this week I did better. I really did. I noticed a little bit more flexibility, which isn't something that I'm normally all that great at. And I just was easier on myself in terms of, if my heels don't go all the way down the back when I'm doing the downward dog, that's okay. And I noticed that most everybody else's didn't either. That made me feel better. See? And so I had more confidence, and I definitely did better. And afterwards, I felt great again. And this morning, I don't feel nearly so sore. I don't really feel quite sore at all. So I'm happy. I feel good. I'm glad that I decided to do something, and I've actually stuck with it so far. It's only February, but and it's something that it took some. It really took me some. I had to build myself up to be able to go to a class like this. I didn't have Stacy with me, so I had to do it by myself. And I can be still shy in some of those types of situations. And so I'm proud of myself for doing that, for making myself do that, and it's had a good result. So yay for Piyo. I felt really, really pleased with that. So I'm gonna, just when obviously I'm at work, this is my lunch hour that I'm doing these things on, granted, but I'm not at a workplace where my lunch hour is the same time every day. I just have to work it around other things, my reference schedule, my teaching schedule, meeting schedule. So some weeks I'm gonna have to miss, but there's something every week I should be able to do something. And I notice that it's definitely a yoga heavy schedule. On Tuesdays and Thursdays, the lunch slots are filled with 2 different types of yoga, but I'm not as afraid of yoga anymore. As long as it's like a power yoga, that it's just totally focused on yoga as a workout, I'm loving yoga. So yeah, it's fantastic. So I'd be willing to even try that if that was just time slot that worked for me in that week. So is anybody else out there a yoga person? Because this is so new to me, I just don't know a lot about it. But, write in with your experience and how you got started and like what type of yoga you do and your, just other deets. I'd love to hear because I'm really feeling the benefit. I'm enjoying it. Okay, I've already been talking for minutes. I knew this would happen. I'm chatty. So that's going well. Lenten stuff. So let's try to think if there's any more updates. I mean, I'm taking Henry to Adoration and Breakfast again this Saturday. Hopefully it's going to be open. I think what we're going to do is go to Adoration first. And if that, for some reason, that chapel is closed, then we'll go to breakfast. And I can see my camera is doing that flickering thing again. I'm sorry if you're watching the video. I have tried and tried to troubleshoot that, and I keep thinking that I have solved it. And a month or so later, I see it doing it again. Well, we're not going to worry about that now. We persevere. So we'll go to breakfast, and if the first chapel doesn't work out, the breakfast place is closer to the other Perpetual Adoration chapel in our area, so we can go there if all else fails. So that's the plan. I'm looking forward to that, and I've started to think about the kids' Easter baskets. I usually do that before now, but I waited a little bit longer this time, but it's still all good. So I'm thinking about what I want to get them. I think I'm going to get Henry, or I know I am because I already ordered it, a customized St. Maximilian Kolbe rosary. That's his favorite saint, and I may get him that as a wooden saint, painted saint pegged out too. For Anne, I'm not sure what I'm going to do for her. I've got like some non-religious things I'm going to put in her Easter basket. She's a little fashionista. I've got some new clothes for her. But I was thinking like a St. Therese print or something she could hang on her wall, or perhaps a book about St. Therese, since that is her one of her patrons. That's her middle name. So I am brainstorming about that right now. Do you have ideas for your kids' Easter baskets? I would love to hear what they are. Or your grandchildren or otherwise, somebody you're creating an Easter basket for. Give me some ideas. And so that's how things are going. It's going well. Henry was all interested in the fact that I brought in his, this is St. Dominic Savio. I'm writing a piece. I need to get a piece out for Catholic Mom, and I thought maybe I'd write about St. Dominic Savio since his feast is in March. So I brought him in for inspiration and for a photo shoot to come later. So I'm working on that. So some saint stuff going on. Thinking about novenas. I know I've been using my St. Joseph Rosary, which I left in the car because I was praying with it in there this morning. But his feast day is in March, so maybe we'll pray that novena. What do you think? St. Joseph novena? When is his feast? March 19th, 16th or 19th? And I'll have to look at my calendar. But so his novena would be not starting for several weeks, but I'll put up a page about that on the blog. Good stuff. Yeah, so that's all going good. Podcasty stuff. So I ordered a microphone. Finally. I took way too long. I should have done this a long time ago. It's one of those things, but I got a gift card for my birthday to Amazon, and I thought I'm going to pull the trigger. So I did, and I'm super excited. And what I'm going to do is it's supposed to come tomorrow, and I'm going to play with it between now and next Thursday. So the next tea time, I'm hoping will sound even better. This has a stand, so it'll be stable, and it also has the capability of blocking out some background noise. Because I'm usually recording here at work, I'm so paranoid about when I record because there's just a lot of other noise here because the offices are all close together and the walls are super thin, and so you pick up a lot of other conversations and noise, doors slamming and people coming and going. And so I think that this will help, and I'm looking forward to that. So better sound for tea time coming up. And also been working with Christina. And so we're still looking at a Lenten launch for what we hope will be a monthly, the webcam's driving me nuts. Sorry, it's distracting me. I can see it going, it's making my shirt like brighter, faded, brighter. I don't know what I'm going to do about that. Okay, but Christina podcast, staying on track. So we're hoping this is going to be a monthly thing, and we will talk about faith, family, wellness, faith, family, fitness. Just like a conversation, and we're really excited about it. It's going to be no fancy dancy. The sound quality should be good because of our microphone and all of that, our microphones, but it's, you know, I don't know how to do intro music or any of that. I don't know how to do any of that. I don't have a mixer. So it's going to be sort of bare bones for now at least. But I just think sometimes you got to just do things. And we've been wanting to do this for a while. And so, yeah, I think we're going to just do it. So I've got Skype and I need to get the software to be able to capture our conversation. But I do know how to do that now, or at least I think I do. I know what I need to download. So that I'm hoping is going to be coming before Easter. That is the goal. So you'll have a Lenten conversation coming your way soon. So yeah, it's all going, it's good. I think that's a good update. The other thing I mentioned at the outset was dance. So in a nutshell, because I can see I'm already at 15 minutes. I've had lots going on with dance that I just love it. I love those ladies. And we just got our summer performance schedule. So lots of good stuff coming up, lots of amusing anecdotes, I am certain. But last week on Friday, I got a message from somebody in my troop asking if I would do a professional gig for her because she had a conflict. She was booked for something else, and it was for a birthday party, which, you know, I've done before. And she said, you know, can you do it? It was kind of last minute, so she wasn't sure if I could. And I said, well, maybe, you know, let me get back to you. And she said, all right, in the meantime, I'll talk to this person. So she did. And when she got back to me, she said, yeah, no, we're not going to do this because, you know, she was talking to the woman about the party. And as you know, because we've talked about this before, belly dancing can have a very poor reputation because of its portrayal. I think oftentimes in films and television shows, as not being family friendly or appropriate in any way. But you know that is wrong. Belly dancers are entertainers, and they are family friendly and graceful and appropriate. And so she said that as she was talking to this woman, she made a crass comment about the fact that this was her husband's 50th birthday party, and so she was looking for a very specific type of dance and body type. No, that's a no. So we decidedly turned that down because that's not what we do. So that's disappointing when that happens. That's too bad because I do cherish those opportunities to dance in those professional type of situations because I think it improves my performance skills. It's an opportunity to earn a little bit of extra money. All good. But in those, obviously, no. It's just a no. So that's never the right way to approach a Middle Eastern dancer. That is not what they do. So bummer, but we have lots of other good stuff coming up and hopefully lots of other opportunities like that because she said she's been getting lots of them and so is starting to develop conflicts. So I may be covering some others for her coming up here. So amusing anecdotes to follow because whenever we perform, as fun and wonderful as it is rife for opportunities to laugh at yourself. And so I think we should always do that. So we'll see. We'll see what's coming up. But I'm excited. The spring and the summer is always our busy season. So yeah, gearing up. So what's new with you? Write in. Let me know how your Lent is going. Let me know what you're reading, what you're up to. Start thinking about faith at work. We'll talk about that next week. I'll try to work on this camera issue if you're watching the video. And I look forward to talking to you soon. See you next week. Bye.